Hi, and welcome back to our document reviewing tools in Microsoft Office 2010 tutorials. In this set of videos, we've been looking at the Tracking Changes tool. Now, you're going to see when I'm on the Review tab, you've got the Tracking Changes button here. And we actually click that button in the first of these videos. Whenever the button is highlighted in orange, that means that Tracking Changes is on. So if you make a change to something, like if I change this date to 2010, that change will be marked. And in that case, it was two changes, the deleting of the old year and the insertion of the new year. Now, to turn Tracking Changes off, you just simply click that button. You'll see it's no longer highlighting. And if I go ahead and say Sales and Marketing Goals Meeting, it didn't record that any changes were made. And that's because it was off. And again, turning it back on is as simple as clicking that top part of that button and then go ahead and type in whatever you want. In this case, I'll go ahead and do John Smith. And you're going to see that it caught that. Now, when Tracking Changes is used by itself, one of the limitations is this. Let's say I wanted to make a change to this document, but I didn't want it to be marked as a change. If I click the top part of that button, again, I turn that off, and I can click here and type more text. I can then turn it back on, make any other changes I want, for instance, deleting that text, and you'll see it's marked. But again, the addition I made up here, there's no marking on it. So usually when you use Tracking Changes, you're going to combine that with some of the document protection tools inside of Microsoft Word. That way, if you turn on the Tracking Changes, you can lock it so that nobody else can come along and turn that off, make some changes, and turn it back on again without you knowing. Now, in order to protect the document, you're going to come here to the File tab, and you're going to be on the Info panel. And you're going to see that we have an option here for Protect Document. Now, if you're in Word 2007, you're actually not going to come here to File and Info. You're going to be on the Review tab, and your protection button is right over here to the right. If I click on File, and then go ahead to Info, and again, I hovered over Protection here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You're going to get a menu. And again, you'll get that menu from the ribbon in 2010. And what I want to go ahead and do is I want to restrict the way people can work with this document. So I'm going to go ahead and say Restrict Editing. When I do that, the Restrict Editing document panel appears over here. And what I want to do is I want to check this box here where it says only allow this type of editing in this document. I'll go ahead and click that, and you're going to see the options here. If I click that drop down, I can say Track Changes. If I click that and then close the panel, the person won't be able to turn, oops, sorry, I forgot to lock that. Let's come back in here to Info and click on Protect Document and Restrict Editing. And again, I'm going to go ahead and check that box if it wasn't checked. You got to click Yes, Start Enforcing Protection here. I always forget to do that. But I'll click Yes, Start Enforcing Protection. It's going to bring up a dialog box. I can insert a password if I want. You're going to want to insert a password in here because if you don't, anybody can come along and stop the protection. But make sure that you remember the password because if you forget it, you won't be able to turn the Tracking Changes off. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in a real quick password here, something that I can remember pretty easily, and then click OK. Now I'm going to close that panel there, and you're going to see I can't turn Tracking Changes off or on. I can't make any adjustments. So now I can delete some text, but it's going to be marked. Or I can insert some new text, and it's going to be marked. And again, I hover over it, and you'll see the Tracking Changes marked. And since I've locked the Tracking Changes, not only can I not turn it off or on, I also can't accept or reject any changes. You'll see these buttons are grayed out here. Or if I was to right-click on something, you're going to see accept and reject or grayed out there. So protecting your document prevents somebody from making changes to the tracking changes feature, if that's what you selected. I'm going to come back here to File, and again I'm on Info, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Protect Document and Restrict Editing. And again, if you're in Word 2007, you're going to be on the Review panel, and your Protect Document is right over here. Now, if I want to turn tracking changes off, I have to stop the protection first. So I'm going to click on Stop Protection here, and since I put a password in, I've got to type that password in. If I type something in wrong, it's going to say that the password is incorrect. So you have to remember that password if you ever want to edit this document. I'm going to go ahead and type in the password there. That turned that off, and I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that there. And now you'll see that I can very simply turn tracking changes on and off. So now, if I highlight and delete, it's deleted but not marked. If I insert some text, you'll see again, it's not marked. Now, coming back here to protect the Restrict Formatting Document Protection panel. Tracking changes wasn't the only option that we had here. We also had an option for comments here. If I click on Comments, I can set up some exceptions here, but I want to go ahead and say, yes, start enforcing protection. And again, I'm going to go ahead and type a password in. And now you're going to see I can highlight, but I can't delete, I can't insert text. If I come here to my Home tab, you're going to see a lot of my formatting is grayed out. If I lock the document, or if I protect the document and say only allow comments, the only thing that I can do is highlight, go to Review, and work with comments. I can't make any other changes to the document. Finally, if we were to, let me go ahead and turn the protection off. Whoops. Just click Stop Protection right there and type in my password. You also have a filling in forms option here, which you can take a course on Word and PDF forms to talk about that. But we also have no changes in document here, or make the document read only. If I select that and say yes, start enforcing protection, once I click OK here, the document is completely locked. You can't do anything to it. You're going to see I can highlight, but I can't insert new comments. If I come here to the Home tab, this is all grayed out. Can't work with, any of these options here. Tracking changes is grayed out. See that right there? If I try and type over something or hit delete, I won't be able to. The document is completely locked. If I click this drop down here, I could select Final, but that doesn't actually change the document. So you can change the way the document is viewed. And if I come here to the View menu, you'll see these options are still available to me. I just can't make any changes to the document. So that is a short tutorial on the document protection tool inside the document reviewing tools.